I am Allyson Phelan-Eagan, and I am here with Dr. Heinz Josef Lenz. We are so honored to have you. Thank you.
I'm glad you're visiting USC.
Yay, go USC!
Yes.
Go Trojans!
The other side of town, okay?
Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you get treated at Cedars and you come visit USC.
Or UCLA.
Are you? Okay. Well,
We're a big family, don't worry about it.
yes, I like to think of that. It's a village.
Yes, it is.
It's a village. A cancer village at that, but still a village. Okay, so let me talk about your foundation, WunderGlo.
Mm-hmm.
I love the name. How did it start?
So, Gloria was my patient. She was 28 years old when she was diagnosed, an incredible lawyer. Duke undergraduate, Stanford graduate school. She went to O'Melveny, and one of her first cases, where she was second chair, was a $1.2 billion settlement against Intel. She was the rising star in LA. And a Duke fanatic, okay? So playing basketball on her side, she felt pain in the belly, lead to obstruction, thought it was food poisoning, and was diagnosed with metastatic disease covering the whole abdominal cavity. So she came to us. This was, of course, not an easy case. We did molecular profiling, we did everything. And so we started treatment. She did very well. And then there was an announcement of the Moonshot program from MD Anderson. She called me up and says, "What is going on? They said they can cure cancer, 8 of them." And I said, "Did you check if colon cancer is on it?" It was not. She said, "Why?" "Because they cannot do it." She said, "Can you do it?" I said, "If you give me enough money, we can do it." She asked how much. I said, $250 million.
Boom!
And the foundation was founded. Okay? She says, "I'm going to raise $250 million. And we have started a large media campaign. We were on CNN, to Today's Show, but even much more, because she developed an outreach program with our blogs, which are, I think, over 500,000 hits. After that, the emails didn't stop. The support in the community around the country and the world was incredible.
Wow.
I think she has helped more patients than I did in my career, just with this foundation and access of information. But we have assembled an international team with the best colon cancer scientists available, from prevention to treatment to better diagnosis, everything. So we have started, unfortunately, she had progression of disease, we switched treatment. At the end, she lived 3 years, much longer than when we anticipated. We learned so much with her because she was aggressively looking for better treatment options. We did whole genome sequencing. Everything possible was done. But her vibe and her spirit are still around. Her mom continues, and they are having a nationwide network with support, with a lot of VIP people involved, including Coach K from Duke, who is now getting us in contact with the NBA. So I think we are still continuing with the same goal, really to cure colon cancer. And in our interview before, you heard that we have very unique approaches. I think eventually we can outsmart colon cancer and cure one patient at a time. One of the biggest differences of colon cancer to any other solid tumor, we already cure metastatic disease. We just don't cure everyone. And why is that? It's because of the metastatic pattern of this disease. Being in the belly, the major metastatic site is the liver. If it's in the liver, even one side of the lung, we go after it, and we can take out these tumors with control of disease. And we can take it out, we take out the stem cells with it, and it's done. So then we have more effective treatment, and we have treatment affecting stem cells, we will cure more and more patients. And that's exactly the center of the Wunder project. But why Wunder? Wunder is the German word for miracle. And Glo is for Gloria. So it was a perfect marriage.
Did I read that she would call you HJL?
Yes, she did.
That's your rapper name?
That's my rapper name. Yeah, because I will not say thousands of emails, but hundreds of emails a week, okay?
Wow.
So I'm not typing out my whole name, so I do only my initials, HJL. Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I also read about an amazing woman, Annette Cook.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about her?
Yeah, so Annette came to me many years ago. She had liver lesions. We had actually completely molecular profiling, and we treated her based on the molecular profile with specific chemotherapy. We operated her 3 times with the liver, 3 times with the attempt to cure her, and it always came back. This is because of the stem cells. We put her on multiple clinical trials and we got some success, but eventually we failed. But she also lived over 3 years, which is incredible for the situation they were in. So now on Annette, like with Gloria, we already we took the tissue and put it in the mouse. Okay, we have the tumor still living in our mouse models to study. But we also developed novel technologies with them, for them. Because already years ago we took blood and isolated cancer cells out of the blood, monitoring the success of chemotherapy in real time. This is a technology which is not now becoming more available, but not implemented in the clinic. We have done it. We identified novel mutations never described before, already put back into cell lines with new transfection technologies. So we are going stepwise forward to better understand why these cancers survive, and when they survive, how we find their weak spot in order to kill them.
I read that Annette was owner of Barefoot Dreams.
Yes.
And what does Barefoot Dreams have to do with the foundation now?
I think Gloria was much younger than Annette. Even Annette was not old. They had an incredible bond.
Right.
It was, you cannot describe it in words. It was very clear that they understood each other without saying a lot. And Gloria put her initials AC on her wrist, tattooed. Okay, I said, are you nuts? But she did it. And she dedicated the first couple of meetings or gala events for WunderGlo to Annette Cook. And the Cook family is still involved. Right. Annette was honored, obviously, and Stan, Annette's husband, is still involved. He's one on the board for WunderGlo. They have a bond which I think is put again together. They're together in heaven, and I have no doubt they're watching over us.
Wow, that's amazing. I also read that your foundation is a little bit different from other foundations in the sense that all money goes to research.
Yes.
Not a penny goes out for anybody else, no lunches, no traveling, no events, just
I'm glad you brought this up. There are very distinct differences. One of them is we are not afraid to put the word cure in our mouth.
I love that word.
Okay. And the second is that this is a really dedicated foundation.
Right.
No salaries, everything's volunteers, medical students, social work, all volunteer their time to make this happen. Everything goes to research. There is no one taking money out. So they can really, really honestly say there is no middleman and no taking out of money. It's all dedicated. So I think this is very unique. And this is Gloria's doing. Okay.
Right.
Now, Becky is continuing to do that, and she will not ever change that. But it is an unbelievable endeavor when we see how many people we reached already without having the major amount of money.
Right.
But there are a lot of promising leads where we may get some significant amount of money. We are trying to maintain at the moment many research proposals and projects which are ongoing, and we get some funding from the NIH and so on. But we need more money.
They need more money.
More money.
Send money.
More money.
WunderGlo.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about some clinical trials that have worked? Can you share some examples? A couple?
Yeah. So remember we talked about the cancer stem cells, and there are very few examples in all cancers that worked. One is retinoic acid. Okay, and this works for certain leukemias. It doesn't kill them; it makes them grow out. Okay. So a laboratory at USC, Dr. Khan, actually has been studying the major pathways for stem cells, particular colon cancer. And he has a drug which attacks colon cancer stem cells. This drug is licensed to a Japanese company, and we finished the first clinical trial, presented at ASCO last year. And what we can say that this drug gets rid of colon cancer stem cells.
Wow.
Now the problem is, alone it will not be enough. So we are now doing combination trials for colon cancer, pancreas cancer, and liquid tumors. I think it's one of the most promising drugs we have ever seen, because it targets the center of major diseases. Now, and aging, you will be liking that in 1 second. When a human being develops in the embryo, and you have 4 cells, the first pathway who kicks in, who takes charge of the development of this life, is the Wind pathway. Okay, WNT. By the way, a German and a US scientist made that happen. W comes from wingless. The German got the Nobel Prize for it, and NT from a transcription factor, a Stanford scientist. So sometimes the Germans and Americans do good stuff together. But because of importance, 2 things happen. At 4 cells, you need to grow,
Right.
but you already need to know what cell will become what organ. So it's proliferation and differentiation. Okay? And that's exactly what cancer does. Now, in order to block this important pathway, you cannot block both. Because when you block the differentiation, it's very toxic. But when you block only the proliferation and help the differentiation, then you have a drug. Now, when we did this is exactly what happens. We get rid of stem cells for leukemia, for any kind of cancer.
Wow.
Now, in our mouse model, something else happened, which may be even bigger than cancer. Because when we looked at it, we saw that the mice who got the drug
Yeah.
had rapid wound healing, the hair grew back much faster, and the skins looked much, much smoother.
Younger, perhaps. I'm liking it already.
Because, and that's so fundamental, the pathway. So when we're getting older,
Right.
what happens? We get constipated. Constipation, because our gut inside gets old. Our skin gets wrinkles, and we lose our hair. And why is that? Because the rejuvenation of these tissues doesn't work anymore. And the stem cell, which is usually has 1 copy and makes 1 copy to replace, is not working anymore. It's lazy. Now, when we give our drug, it kicks in and does work it again. It reverses aging.
This is really
It
good information.
reverses aging. It creates hair growth, wound healing. It works for many chronic degenerative diseases. Pulmonary fibrosis, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Now, we have not done all the work, but it's such a fundamental pathway that this drug, in my opinion, will revolutionize treatment for many diseases.
So how long till we can use that?
Well, I have to disclose, we found it. a company, and we have worldwide license for the topical cosmetic application for this drug, and it's available. It's called Macucel.
It's available. Did you hear that? Do you have any here? I'm taking some before I leave. Did you hear that? Is it really available?
Mm-hmm.
Where can we get it?
It's on. We are a small company, obviously. This is not my major work, but it's called Macucel. Macucell. Macu is an Asian goddess for beauty.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm loving this interview.
Check it out.
I am so checking it out.
Okay.
Came here for cancer, left looking 20 years younger.
Exactly.
This is better than ever.
I'm not telling you my real age, okay?
I knew I would love him. So, is there a cure for cancer? That's the big question. Is there? Will there be?
So.
When?
Well, I think the problem is, probably our naive understanding how to develop that we will have one drug which cures is of course silly. Will never happen. Will we develop more and more treatments which can cure some patients? I have no doubt. I think that some diseases are more likely to be cured than others, no doubt. And as mentioned, I think one part of the common challenges for our successful chemotherapy is really addressing the stem cell part. I think we have now the methodological tools and technologies to identify what pathways, what mutations are in charge that the tumor grows and survives. Because before we see a lot of noise and we see mutations which don't mean anything. Mm-hmm. I think we are now getting much better at this. So I have no doubt we make big progresses. But to think we develop one drug to cure is just not going to happen.
It's fascinating. One last question, and it's a fun one.
Now the fun starts? I thought this was all about fun.
This has been really fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you too.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. And you wore my favorite color, purple. I phoned him before we came. Out of all the events that WunderGlo puts on, what is your favorite event? Because I know there's many.
Oh my God, that is not an easy question.
I want to come next time too.
Yeah, you should.
Okay,
you should in September.
Okay.
So in September we will have two events, one gala in LA in the athletic club and one at Duke, which Coach K will organize.
Okay.
But the event, I think I like the gala event probably because it brings the whole group together. And for people we see maybe only 2 or 3 times a year, it's time to catch up. And they always identify incredible warriors for disease in order to, put the patient and their fight on stage and not necessarily us. And I like this very much, that they are honored for all their work because these are the unsung heroes often, and so much work. And they make our lives so much easier because this outreach and information, particularly with the rapid development of all this new data, we need help from our patients and the advocacy to really put this information out to everyone.
September, I'll be there at the gala.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
It was such a pleasure and
No
such
problem.
an honor, and it was so wonderful to meet you.
No problem. No
Thank
problem.
you.
Pleasure.